Welcome to Finca Live. We're Sharon and Andy, just two people with a dream and a vision of restoring our traditional stone-built farmhouse in southern Spain, transforming it into a beautiful off-grid home and sharing our journey with you. Good morning.
Morning everyone.
Welcome back to the Finca.
Cloudy Finca.
Not such a beautiful day today, although it's cooler, so better for working on the courtyard, which is what we're currently doing if you've been watching.
Endless task of rebuilding. It's not so much pointing, it's more total rebuilding these crumbling stone walls.
Yeah.
What else are we doing?
What else are we doing? In between times, when it's been too hot, as last week was, we've been inside trying to sort out some of our stuff, find a home for it. Andy's made a walk-in wardrobe, and I've been sorting out our clothes for the first time in 2 years. We've got them out of bags and hung up and on shelves, and so that's great. And we're standing under our shade for the barbecue, which Andy put up last year now. Gosh, yes, time flies.
Yes, last summer.
It only ever had one coat of linseed oil, and it's starting to show now.
Yeah, it's looking a bit dry, isn't it?
Yeah, so before it gets really hot, and obviously the sun really does affect it, I'm today going to give it all a second coat.
Yes, excellent stuff.
Yes.
And hopefully get a sliding door made for the walk-in wardrobe.
Excellent, yes.
We're going to try anyway, and we're going to put a sliding door across it so it's not encroaching into either of the rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're making it from scratch, so watch this space. So I'm in the courtyard, rebuilding these stone walls. They're in a really, really poor state. Basically I'm using a sand and lime mix to point them back up and replacing any stones that have fallen out over the years, which there are many. The most time consuming part is finding stones that fit in the holes. We'll get one that fits, give it a tap in with the hammer so it pins against the other stones, and then point it up with the sand and lime. For the last video, if you remember, we had a bit of a different colour in the sand, made a bit of an error, but our new mix now, which is this lot, the last lot we did, is perfect and the same, so we can carry on quite happily. We'll disguise that as we go on. It's not that bad actually. Our vine's doing very well. He's growing up the top. We want to put a cover over the top or some beams over the top and grow him over to give us shade in the summer. When it loses its leaves, we'll get the sun in the winter. Basically, so let's carry on. There's a lot of wall here. It's like the never-ending job. The first thing we want to do, I actually jet washed them all down to get rid of all the loose debris out of them a few days ago. That was a few days ago. I'm trying to get this corner done behind the vine because it's the most awkward, time-consuming spot. All I'm going to do is damp it down first to give the lime a good key to adhere to. Helps it stick better when the walls are this dry. And just carry on from there. Get the biggest holes filled in first. There we go, lovely. By knocking these in so they're tight against the other stones, it puts an enormous amount of strength back into the walls, and they're called pinnings, and that's what it does, it pins it all back together. And there's quite a lot of them I need at the minute. Finding the right size stones is what takes the longest time. It'll do in there. Give him a tap. Excellent. I shall carry on. That's the most awkward bit in the corner done. I'm going to keep coming this way, I think, now. See, a lot of these stones, they're just sat there. They're not even fixed in. Yeah, amazing really. A lot have already fallen out. So that's what we're trying to put back and put this original strength back into it. So I'll go and do another mix and keep moving that way now, I think.
So, jumper on. It's turned really chilly compared to yesterday where we were sweating buckets. Starting with the bench because the cats like to sleep on here, so it needs to dry before they decide to go to bed later. So doing this first, and then I'm on to the beams here. I'm going to do the gate. It all wants doing really. It's amazing how dry they go over the winter. Yeah, just crack on.
I'm back over in the stone department. I've put about 20-25 pinion stones in. I haven't even scratched the surface, so I'm going to carry on, do a few more, and then we'll start to point it up. But yeah, it's getting there. Still a few more big holes, but I've got most of them so far.
And the sun's out again. I jump it off, on, off. It's one of those days. And it's coming along. I've done the bench, I've done along the top here, just on this bit now. I've got all the gate to do. But yeah, we're getting there slowly.
Well, that's all coming along nicely, looking lovely and new again. It's that easy with the old oil. Someone's even done the front of the chicken shed as well, and now is precariously balanced on a ladder, trying to stretch over the wall to get the bit that you can see. You can just see on the right hand side there. Are you winning, Poppet?
It's not easy. It takes me back to the day when I was painting the mezzanine, the floor upstairs, ceiling upstairs. I was doing the mezzanine, and I was literally lying on my back to try and paint the beams. It's not quite as bad as that, but it's not easy.
And just the gate left to do after that, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
It's that time of day when the shadows all fall in the wrong places. The sun's getting lower in the late afternoon. Right, we've done all down that corner there behind the vine. Fantastic. Done all this here. I reckon 2 more days. We'll get this wall, well, this bit of this wall finished off. I'm still in front of the chicken shed to do, and lots more. But we are getting there. I think we've carried on with this more because it's absolutely perfect conditions for working outside today. Not too hot, but lovely and sunny, making the best of it. So probably tomorrow we'll be having a look at that sliding door. And Sharon's on the gate now. The beauty of linseed oil, once a year, just give it a quick refresh, doesn't take long. No scraping, no sanding, no peeling. Just slap another coat on. Fabulous. I'm not doing another mix today now. The bottom of this wall is actually very, very good already in its original condition, or original-ish. I'm just going to give it a brush off. Probably just put a bit of pointing in the holes. But yeah, that's alright that. But I didn't get the jet wash back on it again. That I might do. Super. Moving around a little bit. Bottom of this wall is not too bad. I'm just going to get rid of a few of these old bits. Give them a tap, the hell loose, and out falls a stone. We'll keep that for later. Did you see that? How's it still standing? Don't want to go too mad, obviously, because I don't want it to fall down on me. Yeah. So I think we'll get that side finished first, up to near the chicken house, and then we'll get this side finished off. I think we've done well today, haven't we, Poppy?
Yes, another good job, well done. Haven't got my t-shirt on today, but looks much better. It was so incredibly dry. Wasn't easy because the other side of there are those awful steps that we've still got to repair. So I was having to lean over.
Not something else we've got to do.
Rather precariously on a pair of step ladders, but managed to do it. But yeah, it looks much better. So happy days.
Yeah, well done. What we're doing now?
We're going to have a nice cold beer. And Andy's going to start up the barbecue.
Like the barbecue, yeah. So we'll see you in the morning.
We will.
Right, so time's come to have a look at this sliding door. It looks very nice, actually. Very big, heavy duty, lovely. I'm very happy so far. Just reading through the instructions, and the first thing it says is attach these things to the door. Fortunately we haven't got a door, so I'm going to have to make one. And okay, so I've got a clear table. I'm actually quite restricted, limited in the way that I build this, because I want to put a frame all the way around the outside of it, to make it thick enough to be able to put brushes on the wall to stop the dust coming in. It'll all make sense soon, I'm sure. But there's limits on where it's recommended to put the wheels that it hangs off as well, certain spaces in from the outside. So I need obviously a double thickness of my door there. I'm just using 21mm T&G as always. I'm going to make the door 42mm thick at the parts that it needs to be, and the rest will just be cladding. So I think what I'm going to do, to make it wider than my opening, which again I want it to be, I'm just going to cut 6 lengths of this tongue groove, which is on the floor that you can't see, to 2 metre lengths, and which is the height that I'm going to make it, and then we'll take it from there. Right, so I found 6 quite pretty and interesting lengths. I'm going to take the tongue off the bottom and the groove off the top, and that'll be pretty much it really. They're fairly straight, these. It's not always easy to get straight ones, so that's the first thing to do. I'm actually going to leave the groove on the bottom, and I'm going to use this as the bottom because I've not yet done the floor in the bedroom. I'm probably going to have to take the door off and cut it at some point anyway, possibly. So, and even if I don't, you won't be able to see it anyway, so we'll go with that. Right, so they're all on the bench. I've decided which ones I want for my 2 outside ones, so I need to take the tongue off this side because it's going to be the edge of the door, and the groove off the end of this one. So that's the next thing to do. So now it's time to knock them all together. Normally, if I was making a door that was hung on hinges, I'd glue all these joints together. But because this one's just going to be hanging, I'll glue all the ledges obviously, but I don't think it's going to need it. So I've clamped the end one in. It's just a case of now knock them together. Probably easier said than done. Square with my table, of course, because I know my table's dead square. There we go. There we go. I like them when they slip in like that. Lovely. Right, I'll carry on, get the rest in. So the next thing I want to do is cut my ledges. And this door to look the same as all the other doors from the inside. So the ledges are all going to be on the inside of the room. And there's also going to be another probably sliding door going into the ensuite bathroom as well. I need to allow for the holes for this one. I need to rip the tongue off these and rip the groove off it again, and then position it so when this is on, this is the wheel thing, these holes are in the right place going through both the pieces of timber. So first job, I'll cut it to length and then rip it down. Right, so my ledges are cut, just waiting for the compressor, and we're going to glue and nail them in place. Plenty of glue on them, that'll stop it twisting. Starting with, one at each end. Obviously I'm going to set them in a little bit because I might need to try and trim this door down a bit in the future, I'm sure I will. And one in the centre, same spacing on the top one as that one. So as soon as this is done, we'll get them nailed together. You can't have too many clamps. And the pop a clamp on in there, just to open. It becomes very slippy when you put the glue on. Right, wax the nails in. Oof. Oh. There's a joint, there it is. This one. Right, one down, 2 more to go. Right, so all done. Whether I put a bit more in or not, I don't know yet, but basically it's done. Just need to let that dry off now properly. Everything's set, and I can carry on with it then. So we'll just have to wait a little while. Right, so let's see about getting this rail up. Apparently what it needs to be, the height of the door, which is 2 metres, plus 43 millimetres. The rail in the centre of the rail where you mark the holes needs to be 43 millimetres above the height of your door. But I don't want the door on the floor, so I'm going to lift it up 25 mil, about an inch, which should give me a height of about, if my calculation is right, 2068 millimetres. I can get the top off the pen, as I can. Start again. Right, so 2068, near enough, is there. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to set the laser level up on that. The old laser level again, it's coming in super handy. Draw a line right across there so I can pinpoint my drill holes. So there we go. There's our line. You can see from that how straight this isn't already, and like everything else in the house. All I've done is, I'll show you actually, very crudely, I've got the step ladder sat on the bath, and then some polystyrene that I've just cut to size to give me the exact height for the wall. It's very crude, but it works. So every time the wind blows through the window, because we've got the window open, it does wobble it a little bit. But for what we need, that'll do, for all intents and purposes, it's doing the job. Fantastic. So what I've done, I've marked the centre of the track as best I can. We need to mark the other holes now along this line, and the holes are 406 millimetres apart. So I need to mark, don't lose your glasses, don't lose your glasses. 406 from there is there, and again is there. What I'll do this side, but what I'll probably do is just offer the track up just to make sure that they are in the right place before I start drilling them. So I'll get these 2 done. The most important thing is the centre of the cross is on the line. Right, let's have a look. So there we go. Absolutely perfect. Fine, I'm happy with that. We'll get them drilled out. The great thing about these walls, you can either go into the mortar, into a bit of sandstone, or hit a bit of marble, which is never fun. Let's see if we can get lucky. Carry on with the others. 3 were alright, 2, middle 2, a bit troublesome. I think the dust has got to me. Right, let's have a look at getting this rail up now. Next to going at the big plugs for the lag bolts. Just before I put it up, I think I'm going to give the whole wall a wipe down and get these nails out, because we don't need them in there. It's getting away with our door. There we go, came out easy. Yes, it's all very dusty from years of it, plus what I've just left on it. So we'll get it all cleaned up first. all we have to do now, the world famous awl, is get these on the wall. Oh. That goes on the wall, the spacer goes behind it. I'll put these all on here. There's a big long lag bolt and a washer. Let's see if we can do it. Next time when having the fans, that's Alfie playing with the boxes, you can hear. He's not helping. Let's have a look. Try this one first. But in the middle one, it should balance it because they're in two halves. Oh, I need the spacer. I may need an assistant for this. I never know, we'll see in a minute. Put that in my pocket actually. Yes, I need to get it. So he goes in there. Okay. Okay, let's give it a little nip up. Right, it's not going to balance, is it? I'll stick the end one in. I don't want a washer. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Oh, my holes are deep enough, they're quite long these. I was going to put a piece of wood behind this, but I don't think the bolts are actually long enough for that. Right, fab. I'll get the other one up. That's all 5 bolts in. I guess it's just a case of tightening them down now. So, it'll take a while. That's it, it's up. These are the stops for the rollers. Apparently, you just put them on loose and adjust them once the door's on, where you know how far you want it to go before it needs to stop, so it doesn't slide off. Next, the door. I'll put a link in the description for the actual rail, the track itself, and for the laser level that I've just taken down. If anyone's interested in those fantastic items. We get a small commission as Amazon affiliates, so they'll be helping us out a bit as well. So anyway, on the way to the workshop, just look at the door. A lot of people have been asking about a few questions about this wall. What's it like on the other side, etc, etc. Actually, the ground level is here on the other side, so all that is actually underground because the land's all tiered. Is that the word for it? So yeah, a lot of it's underground, but on the other side it's just as bad. It looks like this, as you can see. So yeah, just as bad on this side as well. This really needs pointed as well. Big holes as usual, stones falling out, big gaps. Yes, it all needs attention. So in the workshop, here's our door. Take the clamps off it now. We're going to flip it over because this side we can oil when it's hanging up, but the other side won't be as easy because it's going to be against the wall, surrounded by. Put the clamps away. 2 more at that end. Scratched.
Move this out of the way, we've not had any accidents.
We don't. Right, we'll go for a flip. I'll just flip it over to you. Right. Alright, yeah, the outside of this is going to be up against the wall. So if we do this first, ooh, what's that? We've got a mark on it. We'll get a bit of sanding out first, get rid of that, and then we can get it oiled.
Right, so we're off.
So unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get any more done this video, because I've got to put these wheels on. Obviously I can't put them on until this is dry. We need to turn it over as well, because I need to bolt these through at the top up there. So we'll get it painted and yeah, wait for it to dry, then we'll be able to carry on with it. So thank you so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've got our door at least, the rails up. We just need to get these on and then we can hang it. So yeah, thank you so much everyone. Thanks to everyone that's bought our merchandise. Absolutely overwhelming. And we'll see you on
Sunday.
Well done.